Let me get off mute. What's going on? What is going on, everybody? This is eBlack with eBlack TV. We're back with another Beware of Fake Woke. I haven't done one of these in a while, and if you haven't already checked out my previous Beware of Fake Woke, please go to my page. There's a playlist there. I have a lot of videos in which I call out fake woke people. Fake woke is not only regulated towards Republicans or Democrats, men, women, gay or straight. It's literally or across the board. When I see fake woke people or fake organizations, I call it out, and this is what we have today. So. Um, First of all, I want to give a salute to all of my Black Pride members. Salute to y'all. Salute to everybody who's here. But we're gonna try this a little different. We're gonna try this a little different. I'm, you know, the topic of today is really regarding, do the Republican Party use black and brown faces to further their agenda? And then we'll kind of talk about how these black and brown people must be forced to disown or directly attack to show their allegiance to the Republican Party. And we have two individuals that we're going to focus on, but not necessarily just directly focus on them, but to the whole entire group. I got my guy, Chaotic Truth. He's going to be coming on, and we're going to have a discussion about this. But I think this is going to be a really good situation. Like always, y'all know how to use YouTube. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you're a content creator or if you have the ability to share this, please do so. This is going to be a good conversation. Also, I did leave the link in the chat, so if you did want to join the discussion, you're more than willing to. We'll kind of mix you in, but until we get to the open panel side, just be aware that we're kind of get you mixed in. Okay. So anyway, got my guy here, Chaotic Truth. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, eBlack? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. So have you seen any of my previous fake woke people?
No, who are your so-called fake woke people?
I mean, I've called out I've called out Dennis Sperlin. I've
Okay,
he said that, the black community will be disappearing in 40 years.
okay,
Uh I've called out the transsexual activists
okay.
of who was against Dave Chappelle. Um you remember that Dave Chappelle thing that was going
Yeah,
on where they were protesting him? So I called her out on her hypocrisy.
okay.
Let's see. I have also called out. Let's see. Who else have I called out? I've called out Canva.
Canva.
Yes, the software company Canva.
Yeah, okay. And why?
Well, well, because Canva decided to send a email during Father's Day saying that if you do not want to send more Father's Day uh, announcements or advertisement, we'll be more than happy to assist you and we'll remove the Father's Day stuff. But they didn't do that for the Mother's Day. But they were more than
Okay.
willing to do that for Father's Day. I've also called out the Lincoln Project. Are you familiar
Uh,
with the Lincoln?
yeah. Hmm.
When they set up a fake protest with tiki torches.
Okay.
So I've been fair across the line. When I spot fake woke people, I'm pretty fair across the line. I call it as I see it. And fake woke is fake woke. I don't care what you think. Sometimes people will act as if they have some higher standard or moral value, or they feel that they're above knowledge. and they're and it's just really all fake woke. It's
Okay.
all fake woke. They just want you to transfer you from another ideology to another ideology.
Okay.
So that's what fake woke is, and I spot out how they're doing it, and I think it's a great series. It's one of my favorite things to do because it's one of those things where instead of doing my normal black and white or black issues or dating relationships or whatever you may call it, this kind of has its own little separate spot in which I can just say, let me if I disagree with something, I can point it out, and statistically, I've done that too. So, you know.
Okay.
So today we got my you got we got. Are you familiar with Officer Tatum?
Yes.
Are you familiar with?
Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I am.
So, what do you think about these two individuals?
Well, I think that Officer Tatum is doing the work of the Lord. He's an incredible content creator, an incredible conservative content creator.
Mm-hmm.
He served his community as a police officer, and now he's serving the community as an incredible individual who speaks about the socioeconomic and political systems of American citizens, and he does a great job at that. Vivek, the East Indian gentleman, incredibly educated. He's an entrepreneur. I think he's the wave of the future. He's outspoken about a lot of things that need to be talked about. And I think both these guys are incredible people. Different, but incredible. Yep.
Yeah. And like I said, these are no personal shots at these guys, but they had made some statements in regards to their beliefs, and I'm gonna just call it out. But in the guise of Black Republicans
Yeah.
kowtowing towards the GOP and using them to directly attack Black culture, thoughts, and institutions. So,
Okay.
what do you think
Okay.
about that? So let's start off with that. Do you think that Black people who are conservative or a part of the GOP are
Okay.
used to directly attack Black institutions, thoughts, and culture?
No.
Hmm. Okay. Want to go a little bit more on that?
No. Again, the right has always, well, conservatives have always been, well, have been a position in politics that basically says we don't need government, we don't need this, that, and the other. By nature, most Black people and other groups of people are conservative by nature. We want to conserve the nuclear family. We want to conserve, working hard and not relying on a welfare system. By nature, most Americans are not socialists. We're not Marxists, etc. So what these two are doing are the work of the Lord, and they're not, in my opinion, there's no grand scheme to use these people to levy favor with Black people. Go ahead, sir.
Have you seen the movie Get on the Bus?
30 years ago. Yes, I did, sir. Yes.
So I'm going to kind of play the
Let's do it.
how do you say the antithesis to this kind of conversation. I think it's pretty good. If you have any part that you want me to cut in, just let me know. Okay.
Yeah, well, it'd be a nice one. Hollywood thinks they got us all figured out. And the evil news.
Yeah, George, they summer 4 hours. Rap, rape, rob, riot.
Who's making the coffee?
You find out, let me know.
I'll take a cup.
Hey, wait, how long you been in this?
All it is. You never been anywhere else? Hell no. Don't intend to either.
Business must be good.
But better. Let there be a lesson to you, young blood. Work hard, graduate from school. White man can't hold you down. I don't care what anybody say. You get your education, right? You know, but don't just go anywhere. You see me? I went to Vanderbilt. In Nashville, I graduated Phi Beta Kappa. You would never catch me going to one of them nigga schools like Tennessee State or Fisk. Gee, all them niggas know how to do is step and sing, sell fish sandwiches to get textbooks.
I've heard you actually have this talking point. You can talk about it.
I mean, well, there's nothing to talk about. I mean, the fact of the matter is that what the gentleman in the movie said is correct. Most of these schools, HBCUs, are trash. They're trash. They're terrible. They have no great alumni. They have no great achievements. And to a degree, I mean, even though this is 30 years ago, you as a parent or anybody who's watching, you know, you don't want to undermine. Well, there's nothing wrong with saying that, hey, look, I would prefer my child to go to an Ivy League. Now, he mentioned Vanderbilt, which is not an Ivy League, but it's damn near close. The purpose of being in America is to strive for the best. And the best in America is Vanderbilt. It's Duke. It's Harvard. It's Yale. It's
Why?
Not. It's of course. Look at their. I mean, all right. So if we could base it on,
just say networking.
it's not just networking. Just base it on history. Base it on a certain set of metrics. Well, what are the metrics? Look at the alumni, right? Look at the
Networking.
people. Okay, networking. Well, look at the people who've gone there. When you think about people in power, the Fortune 500s, you know, the CEOs, you think about politics at a high level, you think about governors and presidents, people who control industry. They go to these elite universities. They don't go to these schools. They don't go to Medgar Evers University. They don't go to Montana. They don't go to Montana State University. They don't go to these inferior schools. So it was nothing wrong with what he said in that movie. Black or white. Go ahead, sir.
But the thing about it is that when you look at the lawyers that are coming out, every
What
black
lawyers?
lawyer, most
What
black
lawyers?
lawyers are
What lawyers?
black lawyers.
From where?
You know, you have Texas Southern University.
Okay.
You know, Thurgood Marshall has an excellent, one of actually very excellent law program.
Okay.
You know, when you talk about, you know, things like nursing, you know, we can talk about Prairie View.
Prairie View, yeah.
So, you know, when you talk about education and you talk about people who have been there, HBCUs for the Black American, it's still a great option.
No,
It may
it
not
is.
be it,
It is.
and like I said, you're only going there for networking, and you got to understand there's only so many spots available for the primetime superstars, and for the most average American person, you do want your child to be able to lean on people that look like them. That's the point of a HBCU, is to give somebody an opportunity.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that I feel as if this guy is a representation of a lot of black people who use the excuse of I am the exception to the rule. So F everything that you guys are going to, your institutions. This is the baseline of this argument. He starts off hot. And he says F HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
These are your institutions. Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm better than you. and I'm
Okay.
accepted in different ranks of you. Because if you haven't told by already this this clip, he is a Republican. But this
Why?
is
He never mentioned any political affiliation.
but you're
How do you
gonna
know? How do you know?
but you're gonna see a consistent theme that to be a
How?
black Republican, hold on, to be a black Republican, you must be able to disrespect openly black institutions, black thought, and black culture.
So the rappers who disrespect institutions such as marriage, who openly talk about gang banging and quote unquote fucking black women, they don't disrespect the institution. You pull up a movie from 40 years ago and you're telling me that is a disrespect, right?
No, I'm using that to illuminate the point.
But what point are you really illuminating? Because in my opinion, this movie is shedding light on a few things.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman in the movie is working hard. All right. But what about even at that time, you had gangster rap, you had movies, you had rappers, I mean, not rappers, but actors, actresses who openly disrespected black institutions, the family structure, the nuclear family structure. What about that?
Yeah, and that's a fair deal. That's a fair question.
Okay.
So I'm gonna allow that, but I understand that we're working towards a point.
Okay. What's your point?
We're working towards it.
All right, go ahead.
Y'all better open up these windows. You niggas starting to smell a little funky.
Jay forgot his deodorant. The rest of us starting to get used to it.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
As I was saying, young blood, you know, you do something with your life. Don't just talk about it. Niggas love to talk about what they gonna do. I'ma do this, I'ma do that. Niggas ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. That's why they like Farrakhan. He ain't no Bible leader or anything.
Wait a minute, hold it now. Who are you to be dissing Farrakhan? What have you done? What have you ever sacrificed to uplift your people? Farrakhan has been at the forefront of the struggle to clean up the black man for 40 years. What have you done, huh? You ain't done a goddamn thing. Love Louis Farrakhan or hate him, that's your choice. But if it wasn't for him, your black ass wouldn't be on this bus right now. You know why?
Why?
Because he was the only black leader who had the balls to call for this march. You know why?
Why?
Because as far as so-called black leaders go, Louis Farrakhan is the only free black man in America. And you know why?
Why, nigga?
Because his only allegiance is to his God, Allah, and his people.
Oh, nigga, come on, man. You're gonna have to admit that the man is self-serving.
Everybody's self-serving on one level or another. The fact is the Nation of Islam can help thousands of brothers.
Yeah, put a lot of money in that nigga pocket. See, I've been to Chicago. I seen this palace.
That home belonged to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Don't even bring up that nigga. He the same thing.
So what he's saying, Memphis? You're saying people shouldn't get paid for helping other people? Priests get paid, reverends get paid.
President's definitely getting paid.
Them too.
Well, I'm just saying, one positive thing about Farrakhan, he don't have that nigga attitude like Jesse Rainbow Coalition Jackson.
Then you go baying for a ride on this bus, and you're going to get on the bus and there's Farrakhan and Reverend Jackson. Because of Reverend Jackson, I am somebody. The bus I drive, and I mean this with all my heart, they be for the ugliest brothers alive, but I am somebody.
But seriously, man, you brothers know what I'm saying about niggas like Jackson. We all say the same thing. Hire us, feed us, affirmative action. Like we need America to keep a nipple in our mouth.
You a Republican or something?
Yeah, and damn proud of it.
Who you, nigga Gingrich?
You got a problem with that?
I don't see how any black man could be a Republican.
I don't see how any black man can't.
Got that right.
So,
Yeah.
as you can see, we're starting off with the precipice of the Republican, and I started off with this video because I think this illuminates visually exactly what I'm trying to say in terms of the discussion. What I'm trying to say is there is a dichotomy between the black man and each other in terms of our allegiance to parties. But you notice that the black
Democrats and Republicans, right?
yes.
Yeah.
You notice that the Black Republican is the one that has to openly disrespect Black institutions, disrespect Black culture, and disrespect Black thoughts to be allegiance to that culture, to be that to the Republican Party.
Well, again, you're talking about a movie. Okay,
Well,
so the movie.
we were going to get
All
to
right, go
real
ahead.
life people.
Okay,
We're going to get to real life people, but I just wanted to make sure that we have at least something that, you know, without personally attacking these people first, that I'm basing this basically off a point. So what do you think so far about what he's saying in terms of Louis Farrakhan, institutions, men that are institutional leaders that want to have money, uh, who have money, they're not really for the people, and then the kind of the disposition of, say, this guy saying that all niggas want is just a handout.
Well, I mean, in terms of a handout, we already know what side of the aisle that is. That's the Democratic side. That's welfare.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to nation building, when it comes to preserving normalcy, that is a conservative viewpoint. Marriage between a man and a woman has always been the norm. That is conservative. We're conserving this behavior, building yourself up. Go ahead.
So a conservative can't be gay.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but typically, when it comes to normalcy, what is normal, what has always been the norm, heterosexuality has always been the norm. If you look throughout all societies, you may ask yourself, well, what is the physical evidence? Well, the physical evidence is that you and I exist right now. We weren't brought into this world by homosexuality. We were brought into this world by heterosexuality. So you present a movie, which is fine. That's fine. I understand it. But again, what is this man saying in the movie that is wrong? The fact of the matter is, in the movie, they present a perspective that Farrakhan is the only conservative, the only free man in the country. That's what the movie says. He's the only free man. That is a absolute falsehood, considering the fact that everybody in this country is free. This is a free market capitalism. I mean, capitalistic society.
Yes.
You have in this country millions upon millions of black men, white men, and other men who are able to start a business, make money, and be free in terms of capitalism. But you have to ask yourself this. Okay, well, what else is freedom? Well, what about human rights? Here goes a country where you can be gay. You can stick a penis in your mouth. You can lick coochie if you want. You can't do that in other parts of the planet. You for damn sure can't do it in Uganda. You for damn sure can't do it in most Southeast Asian countries. Here goes a country that allows you to criticize the government. Here goes a country that allows you to criticize the president. You can't do that in a lot of other countries. So what the movie is presenting, and I understand it, it's a romantic movie. Okay, it romanticizes the black experience. That's fine. We get it. But the fact of the matter is that this movie and that black man in that movie is right. You're free to be free in America. I'm free to address my government. I'm free to talk shit about my president or the rulers here. He couldn't do that anywhere else on the planet. So what I keep on saying is that America has allowed the black man, has allowed the white man, has allowed the Asian man, has allowed people on the planet to be somebody, and they can't do it anywhere else. Everybody on that little silly stupid bus symbolizes the liberal agenda.
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
agree.
Go
I
ahead.
agree. I agree. I
Hey,
think.
check the private chat real quick. I gotta check the private chat real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. Go ahead. I seen your thing, and I'm gonna bring my thing. My guy up. What's going on, Chef Shapino?
Yo, what's going on, man?
Man, we just getting started cooking. I'm glad you here for a ride. I'm trying to do my fake wokes a little bit different. I want to have, you know, I might do a pre-recorded next time, but this time I'm gonna try. I think this subject was really dope. So
Okay, yeah. Peace, love, and light to everybody within earshot of your boy Chef. It's a nice topic, man. It's definitely a good conversation.
yeah. So what do you think? Have you seen the clip so far?
Yeah, it looked like when I pulled up, it looked like a clip. Yo, is it glitching out? Is it just me?
No, we good. I hear
Okay.
you good. It might be glitching out on your side, or it might be on my side. Put a one
Yeah,
in
but
in the chat if everything's good for everybody. But so far I don't see any problems on my side. But I have a raggedy computer right now.
so yo, the only thing I came in on was the clip from Get on the Bus.
Yeah,
You know, and in terms of the conversation about Republican versus Democrat, here's my stance, and I challenge anybody on it. I believe that we as a people have a political identity crisis. People are toting the flag, rocking the flag, jacking a Democrat just because people have sold them that they're Democrat. But in the end, when you take a look in terms of what both those different political groups stand for, majority of the hood ninjas are actually Republican,
yeah,
but just don't understand because people have been sold that bill of goods. Oh, if you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black. When in fact, more black people espouse I, the ideals of GOP. And that's the
yeah.
funniest thing. And that's one of the things that keeps us
That's kind
locked
of
within that conundrum.
I agree. I think sometimes we understand the difference between we we I don't want to get too far down the line, but what I will say is that we need to separate the idea of fiscal conservative and personal traditionalists because those two things are not the same. You can be a fiscal conservative, but also have a gay son. You could be a liberal and still not want your daughter to get tattoos.
So, but no, 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 no,
So,
no, no.
but I want you to
That's
understand.
also
I don't want to get too far, but I want you to
yeah.
understand that there are things that socially we do, and certain things that we do also do for policy.
I could be a conservative and have a gay son and not be happy about it. It doesn't make me a
Yeah,
liberal at that point. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
what I'm saying to you.
But don't.
There's
But
one
you
thing
understand the
about
point that I'm
certain.
trying to make.
No, no, I understand. There's a difference between actual leaning or propensities versus reacting to circumstances. You follow?
Yes, I
But one of
understand.
the things that I do believe is that we as a people, if you want to go majority wise, we have a political identity crisis. A
Yeah, and
lot
I
of
agree.
the hood ninjas, a lot of the people that come from lesser means, people within poverty, you name it, we actually are more conservative because remember,
I would
conservative
disagree
is
with that.
I don't because remember, the liberal or rather, let's say Democrat is about bigger government, centralization of the power structure,
Hmm.
right?
I would.
Under GOP, it's power given more based on your geographical location and where you are. That's why if you notice, watch this, Democratic states have fewer cities than than Republican states. You know, Georgia has over 100-something counties, right?
Yeah.
There's a point about it. You have to understand, because of the fact that they're not as much about centralized government. And for the record, I am not a politician. I am not an attorney, but I'm somebody that's astute in this thing here. And everything that I say, you'll be able to look up. You know,
Yeah.
so the point is, you disagreed. I want to hear what you were disagreeing about.
If you truly look at most of the African American experience, most of them followed communist and socialist ideologies. If you look at Martin Luther King, he was mainly talking about communism, or he used communism as the background. If you look at most black institutions, most black people who were even around Martin Luther King, even Malcolm X, most of the time when you talk about black empowerment or anything that in regards to black thing, blacks in America, it comes from a communist socialist idea. So I understand, like I said, I wanted to separate traditionalist ideologies, something that we at home we may want to do, versus something ideological that a party wants. And those are two different things. We can have both. You can be liberal and still want to go treat your kids to go to a private school. You can be liberal and still be fiscally conservative. You can be liberal and have a lot of traits. These are ideologies. But traditionally we can act a certain way. So I want to make sure that we're separating those two.
Okay. Can I ask you a question, eBlack?
Mm-hmm.
You say that blacks are anti-capitalist, right?
For most of the history, blacks have
Okay.
been anti-capitalist.
Okay, that's fine. Can you name me a black nation state right now that thrives on socialism, Marxism, etc.? A black nation state.
I can't name particularly one, because most of them, since even most of Africa has been under colonialism since what, 1980s?
Okay.
China, wait a second, China technically didn't get out of poverty until the 80s.
Okay.
You know, Europe technically turned themselves into a democratic socialist things after they reaped the benefits of the American system. So, you know, when you really talk about, most countries aren't even really successful on their own anyways.
Can you
So
name
I
me?
understand the point, but you do understand that there's you got to dig deeper into that.
Okay. Was Egypt? Let's assume Egypt
would be communist.
Egypt was communist.
Yes,
now,
because it had one ruler and was ruled by the family.
Mm.
And then the family didn't control.
So there were no
needs of the
business
people.
owners. There were no shops. There were no people growing crops. There were nothing, right?
The needs of the people was provided by the leadership of the pharaoh.
Now, how do we know this?
Because that's how government's structured.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. Let's not get into the quagmire of whether there was other, whether a lot of the leaders had, governors and senators, and I don't want to get caught up in that. But I do want to make sure that the point was that we were making was this is the type of government was typically. The statement that black people are traditionally conservative is an overstatement based on traditional values.
So why is it
not
Nigeria?
necessarily
Right.
not necessarily ideological?
Say whatever you want to say to rebut it. Just don't say
Okay.
that you don't like the statement. What is your rebuttal to that statement?
I've already made my rebuttal. I've actually laid out why black people are more traditional in terms of socially, but economically and in a lot of ways its institutions are socialist and communist.
So why aren't blacks practicing? Okay, let's assume you're right? That's fine. Why aren't blacks practicing socialism now? Like, for example, Why isn't Floyd Mayweather practicing socialism right now with the three of us right now?
Who's to say he's not?
Okay, can we
Right.
call Floyd right now and say, Floyd, you got about 50 Rolls Royces. Can I use one of them?
That's not
Right.
that's not necessarily socialism, or is it communism?
So what is it?
What is it?
It's basically he. You guys are mixing up a person allowing somebody to use something of their house versus saying feeding the needs of his people.
Right. It's actually deeper.
Okay.
We actually what we did was we actually minimized it for you and made it easy for you. Because remember, you talked about somebody minimizing what's in his house, but we're talking about sharing the wealth amongst men, which
Mhm.
means that his 100 million, if there was only 4 of us on the planet, his 100 million would be my
Distributed.
25,
Yep.
your 25. Do you know what I mean? Chaotic's 25. You know, oh shit, look, we just grew a Simon. So now that would be 20. That's what the communist aspect of it brings in. That's what that brings in. And but remember this, I want to say this. A lot of times in order to create a shift, so you don't have to sit with the drops on the stone of evolution. To create a shift, revolution is required. A really hard move to move that boulder or to move that stone. The socialism aspect and the communism aspect, especially when it came to the civil rights movement and Martin. Remember, don't forget a guy named Bayard Rustin, okay? Don't forget Bayard Rustin when it comes into the dynamic of that conversation. The socialism and the communism aspect, those were things that were sprinkled into the mix of the movement in order to have the right degree of hyperbole to move the people forward, to bring them together, because there were a lot of people that didn't want any problems. There were a lot of people that called Martin a troublemaker.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is they had to be a degree of verbiage and hyperbole placed into the rhetoric of, when I say rhetoric, not in a negative term, right? But within the rhetoric of the civil rights conversation and verbiage in order to bring us closer together, for us to be the common man, us versus them. Because at this point, after Jim Crow and everything, it was not us versus them. It was us that wanted to be good and didn't want to get whipped and didn't want to get in trouble, didn't want to deal with Jim Crow. And then there was the others that we considered the troublemakers.
I hear you, but I really don't think that reflected necessarily the boots on the ground. Once again, you can look up a lot of people who were directly. I mean, shoot, Kwame Nkrumah was a part. He's one of the biggest socialists there is. He was a part of Martin Luther King. So you know, Jesse Jackson.
So
I mean,
you're gonna
you gotta
ignore
understand.
Bayard Rustin.
I just want, but I want you to understand. Just like there was people like Kwame Nkrumah. I'm sorry, Kwame Ture, that were a part of Martin Luther King. There was also Eldridge Cleaver, that were part of the Panthers. So, but this is the ideologies debate that we're having. So that we're just getting started. We're just getting started. I want to continue with this video, but I want you guys to understand this is just like we're having this discussion here in terms of what we believe Black people want. These people are having the same thing, and it's visualized. So let's keep going, because I don't want to make this a 10-hour strain.
Look. I'm about to flex on you, just so you understand who you're speaking to.
Okay.
Yes, Brother Eldridge Cleaver. Peace to Joju Young, aka Joju. That's one of my friends, one of my college friends, classmates, and his daughter. In terms of the conversation, bro, when you bring him up, it's different, but yet it speaks more to what I'm stating. If you understood what Eldridge Cleaver was talking about,
Yes, we all.
It actually makes
if,
more sense.
and my point with bringing up Edward Cleaver was the same way I was bringing up Kwame Ture, was the fact that yes, there were socialists a part of the group, just like you were bringing up the guy that you were mentioning that may have been linked more into capitalism. The Black Panthers, just as a socialist group as they were, still had people who were capitalists too. That was my whole point. It's not a catch-all. Everything is not a catch-all for most people. Most institutions and most ideologies were grouped together, and it was built on committee. So that's all I'm saying. I didn't want to get too deep into the.
No.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going because the conversation is going to lead us down a way.
Here we go again. Democrats want to keep us powerless, docile, begging for handouts, and if we run around having babies without even a minute plan for their future, they say that's okay. Take a few more handouts, have a few more babies.
A gay black Republican. Now I know I've seen everything.
According to my observation, Flip, you haven't seen much. I done told you about riding my ass, especially without my permission.
Hey, you gay?
Yes.
That's okay. You might be gay. You might be black, but as long as you're a Republican, you all right. We are an endangered species, just like that owl on the side of the bus. See, but it's niggas like Flip.
Niggas like Flip. Niggas like Flip.
When they're suffering on them like a badge of honor.
You better wake up and smell a coffee, nigga. About 9 times out of 10, your mama's in the white man's kitchen brewing.
Nigga, you better leave my mama out of this. At least she ain't out there on his doorstep begging. Like most of you ignorant, lazy niggas.
Don't make me pull this fuss over and whip your ass. Are you trying to say that all brothers and sisters that haven't made it are lazy and ignorant?
Yeah, basically.
Have you ever heard of racism and discrimination?
It's the 1990s. Racism is a figment of the black man's imagination. Brothers, we are moving into the next millennium. The year 2000 is here. Now we got to move into the future. If I'm lying, how you explain a man like Colin Powell? Huh? The white man never kept him down.
Colin Powell made it in spite of racism, not because it doesn't exist, you Uncle Tom.
Say it again, louder. You hear that, Kyle? Just because we stand up on our own 2 feet and we don't sing slave songs, they want to call us Uncle Tom.
At least I have sense enough to know that racism and homophobia still exist, brother.
So I'm Judas, right? I'm the enemy to all the brothers and the sisters and niggas like OJ. They the hero, right? Niggas go out there singing in the street, dancing in the street, because that nigga was supposed to be the second coming. How many of you niggas were out there singing and dancing?
People were celebrating because he was a hero, brother.
So you admit he's guilty, right?
That's not what the man's saying. The man's saying that white folks have been getting over on black folks for centuries.
Please, niggas, let there be one voice of reason amongst all these niggas on this bus.
Hey, who, Mark Furman?
What about you, old man? Huh? You got an opinion?
Yeah, I got an opinion. Also, I got a question. When you use that word that way, are you talking about you two or just about the rest of us? It seems like that's the only word you know. But you know, if you were to take that word and turn it over, on the other side, you would find kings and queens.
Sorry, Pops. If it don't fit, you must have quit.
Why are you even going to the market?
Niggas and cars. Cars and niggas. Niggas need cars like cars need niggas. I gotta make me some money. You think I'm a...
Interesting conversation.
Yeah. You
Hey,
know,
yo,
You ready?
yeah. So I want you guys to kind of comment on that because, like I said, we're still speaking on the guise. We still want to speak under the guise of black Republicans being the front of the GOP, and they have to disrespect black institutions, black culture, and black thought.
eBlack.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was ahead of its time.
This is Spike Lee.
The irony, Spike Lee, who made millions of dollars, not in Africa, not in Southeast Asia, not in motherfucking South America. He made money in America making movies about a fictionalized socioeconomic problem that he created. If blacks are downtrodden, if blacks are thrown to the back of the bus, like in this movie, then how is he making so much money? Spike Lee's kids didn't go to public schools with blacks. Spike Lee's kids. Spike Lee has. I bet you, if you look up his editors for his movies, I bet you if you look up the writers for his movies, his latest movies, all white people. He has benefited off the very same system that he is supposedly saying is oppressing them. That fucking movie, Get on the Bus. Excuse me, I don't know if you cuss over here. That movie, Get on the Bus, is a race commodity. He is selling racism, just like he did in Do the Right Thing, the Malcolm X biography. He is selling racism. He loves white people. He loves Hispanics. It's funny. I bet you ain't none of his fucking kids darker than you, eBlack.
Yo, brother,
hold on, Simon. Simon, relax. Simon, we don't do that over here, Simon.
All right,
he benefits off white people. Everything in that movie, Get on the Bus, is right with that black dude who's the Republican. He's pointing out the idiosyncrasies in the black community and in America, to be completely honest with you. Go ahead.
That's hot.
Go ahead, Simon.
So, what are you doing?
That which Simon?
No, that's a question for it. Chaotic.
No. Attack the points, not the person.
No, it's fine.
No. We don't do that. No. We do not do that over here. We attack the points, not the person.
Let me make it clear. I'll make it clear. I wasn't attacking nobody. He said certain things, right? So he was saying this is this and this is that, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. I was saying, well, how does that relate to you in your personality? Because
Simon,
realistically, as wait a minute,
give me
a second. Like realistically, I understand where you come from. Okay, right? You said like, I mean, we kind of align in a lot of ways. To be fair, we've been teachers, we've been in the system, we've seen certain types of things, and that's kind of like how you could come to the same ideology. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to come out here and have some stupid conversation and go, yeah, chaotic truth is this, blah blah blah. What I'm saying is, it's just, the things you brought up, the references are important. Okay, so you brought up certain references where it was just okay. It didn't really sort of align with any sort of sensual or the point you was making. That's where I got to, just in your conversation. I wasn't trying to be bad.
No, Simon. So what are you asking, bro? What are you asking?
I'm asking, why do you have such an issue with people like Spike Lee, who made films, people that are accomplished, that have stature, where you can bring up references where you have not actually accomplished anything? You're a guy that's just sitting in your living room. No, wait.
No, eBlack, let him finish.
I have the great ability. Simon, this is your final warning.
No.
Let him go. Let him go.
eBlack,
No. Look,
eBlack.
We address on eBlack TV.
No,
we have dialogue.
But
we do not attack each other. I don't let my chat attack each other.
Yo, I'm not attacking him.
Either you attack his points.
Question.
Okay. Either you attack. Either you address the points.
eBlack.
All I'm saying is
eBlack. Let him finish.
All I'm saying, I'm not attacking him.
Can you turn his mic up too in the back end real quick? I can't hear. I can barely hear.
I'm being slow with this. I'm not attacking chaotic truth. I respect chaotic truth. What I'm saying is, most people will view you worldwide from a point of view where it's like, you're just speaking from your bedroom. Like
Mm.
it's not sort of like we understand your past and the references you make and the why you're called Chaotic Truth. Same way I'm called Simon Hector. I get a lot of shit. You know I get a lot of shit.
Yeah, I know
Right?
you
So
are.
yeah, so it's not that. But it's just
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is
Yeah.
sometimes it just sounds like you're being blasé.
Okay, so
Mhm.
what about what he said that wasn't necessarily you agreed with or disagreed with?
I would say that I'm on the fence, to be fair.
Okay.
Now,
All right, Simon, keep that thought. Chef, what you got? If you have anything at all.
Yes.
Okay.
So look, in terms of this
I gotta
whole
use the bathroom, guys. I'll be right back. Okay.
Go ahead.
TMI.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Very good. Yo, here's the best way I can elucidate my point, Lizzie. We know about you in the state of Texas.
Hmm?
So, question for you: what kind of state would you consider your state a Republican state or a Democratic state?
I would consider it a Republican-led state.
Historically, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So now, to further elucidate the point, you wouldn't consider it a Democratic state. So now, when we have different movements that exist, there's always going to be counter movements to either mitigate the effects of what the initial movement is or to create change, right? So, I wanted to ask you, who is the person that's credited with quote unquote freeing the slaves?
Abraham Lincoln.
Okay. You happen to know what party he was a part of?
He was originally a part of the Republican Party.
That is correct. Okay. So now, question for you. I remember you stated that Texas is a Republican state, right?
Yes.
All right. Cool. Are you familiar with the Texas Republican Party? It's actually one of the strongest parties within the whole of this United States. You familiar with them?
Yeah, and just to make a point,
Educate them folks,
hold
though. If
on,
you
just to
are,
make
educate your folks.
I just want to make a point. I actually live in a Democratic area.
Listen,
of
man.
Texas.
I said the state, bro.
Okay,
You can
yeah,
tell me about your area. You can tell me about
you're assuming that the leaders of the Republican side are.
You don't know what I'm assuming. You don't know what I'm assuming. I want to.
In case anybody else assumes.
So no. You know, this is Chef, bro. I'm the guy that puts definitions in the chat.
I'm just saying.
I was asking you the question so you can answer it to be dramatic, but I can just get it out. Listen, y'all.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this.
Go ahead.
I live in Texas, but if you look at the majority of the cities, Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, the most populous cities are Democratic. They are the wealthiest cities.
Okay, so here's the piece that eBlack won't tell y'all because he knows what I'm getting at. If anybody Googles Republican Party of Texas, the Republican Party developed dramatically in Texas during Reconstruction era after constitutional amendments, which freed the slaves, right? So it gave suffrage to black males. The Republican Party of Texas was started by black men. Black men joined the party and it ensured the end of slavery. Okay? Also, men of mixed race, the ones that had been free and educated before the Civil War, they became the leadership. It was easier for them to get into the room. So when we start talking about the whole dynamic of all of this, light skin, dark skin, there was dark skinned brothers that knew the lighter skinned dudes would be able to make it into the room quicker and pointed them there. Okay. So when we talk about a lot of things and we talk about the history, people leave that out. People leave the fact that blacks were Republicans for a good majority, okay, by emotion, by action, and all of that. But then what ended up happening was democracy, or not democracy, but the Democrats, with the gifts, with the stimulus, with the money that was going to, incentivize women for not having men in the home.
Chef Shapino.
Those are democratic things.
Yep.
Talk to me. Go ahead, bro.
I was being peaceful. I was being cordial. I rock with Simon. But hear me out. I know Simon.
Me too.
Simon's an alcoholic. He drinks a lot. And normally I would go in on Simon, a person like him. But
Don't talk about me like that, you fuck nigga. Like,
hold on a second.
He's
Here goes a
we
man.
catch him at the right moment.
No, you're not gonna do that to me on this platform. No. You what? I'm what? I'm what?
eBlack.
All right, calm down, y'all. Calm down.
Now here goes a man, eBlack. He made insults. He said I'm in my mother's living room, which isn't true. But even if I was, so what? But here goes a man who rises and sleeps under the very blanket of freedom that the American government provided. Sir, if it were not for the Americans, Simon, your black ass, you would be speaking German right now.
Yo, bro, you
don't
even
even
go
all
right.
The nerve of you disrespecting me,
no,
sir.
give me a couple of seconds with this guy.
All right, everybody going on
This
mute.
guy's a joker.
Mute. Everybody's going on mute. Let's get the rest of this clip out.
Miss out on all that networking? Shit, nigga, you must be crazy. I got a joke for you, nigga. What do you get when you cross 1 million lesbians and the Million Man March?
Okay, what do you get when you cross 1 million lesbians and the Million Man March?
2 million motherfuckers who don't do dick. You niggas something else. nigga. All you niggas.
Hey, Wendell, I got a joke for you.
All right.
What do they call a black man with a Lexus dealership?
What?
Nigga.
They don't do nigga. Niggas need code like Cody nigga.
So,
Yo, let me say something quick.
No. We're not doing that.
That's what Democrats.
Not in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, I had chaos back from day one. Like, so I have nothing against chaos. So whatever he has to say to me is cool. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, talk about.
I think it's kind of interesting. Because he's got a brilliant mind.
You're bringing up a movie which has nothing to do with reality.
You don't think black people? You don't think this is a microcosm or representation of black people and the Republicans? And you don't think that black people overwhelmingly see Republicans or people that think like that as Uncle Toms?
No,
you don't think. Whoa.
No, let's. All right, how about this? Let's do a history check. Black people overwhelmingly voted for Obama twice. It wasn't because of no Republican, Democrat, no side of the aisle in Congress. Let's be honest. I voted for Obama because he was black. Let's be completely honest. Black people are really not. Give me a second. Right, exactly, Simon. Black people really are not political for real in terms of like actual politics in terms of the country. We voted for Obama because he's black. He looked like us. He was tall. He was good looking. He was charismatic. Whether he was an independent, he could have been part of the Green Party. We wouldn't have cared. Black people are swayed by the media However, all I'm saying is that there is really no disconnect. We vote for whoever is popular because that's how black people generally are. We are under, okay, look at ancient African societies, right? Look at ancient Egypt. There was really no democracies. It was generally dictatorships. So we are accustomed to a one type of a one rulership or one style rulership government, right?
Yeah, because it's only been invented 400 years ago.
Well, no, democracy existed in Greece, it existed in Rome, but what I'm saying is that we aren't really a people. A democracy is really a government that is governed by the people. Black people aren't really like that anyway. We like popularity as a people.
All right,
Yes.
Yeah, you guys, you gotta let him get his point out.
We like popularity, right? Now, you guys are good. We like popularity as a people. The Romans, the Greeks, East Indians, they had democracies. Black people are better governed under dictatorships. You have to tell the Negro what to do. And the fact of the matter is that Negroes loved Obama because Obama really was a dictator for Negroes.
Oh my Lord.
If you really sit back and think about it, yeah, he was voted in. He was an elected official. He was an elected official.
I want to give a shout out. First of all, shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. He sent me a super chat of $4.85.
Yeah.
It's translated to 25,000 Ugandan bucks.
What does that translate to?
I'm joking with you, O'Shea. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson.
Niggas be bum watching O'Shea, man. God damn.
Yeah, I remember that day. O'Shea
I gotta get off YouTube.
O'Shea, man.
I gotta get off this bitch. Y'all niggas going crazy.
Guys,
I remember that day. This was
come
last
see me,
year.
O'Shea. Your emails, fuck you.
Guys, I'll give you an example right now. O'Shea, right? Incredible content creator. O'Shea right now is in Uganda. He will tell you. He will tell you how. Listen, Simon. He will tell you.
My wife's from Uganda. I know he ain't in Uganda. Trust me, brother.
Go ahead, Chaotic. I'm muting you only because you're interrupting. Y'all know we don't do this shit over here.
He will tell you how the black mind works. When Idi Amin was in power, you couldn't listen. Criminality, dumb shit didn't happen because he was a motherfucking dictator. He would kill you. O'Shea is in Uganda right now. He knows what happened during Idi Amin's reign. Black people are not there. We are not a people, not all of us, but black people generally are not accustomed to democracies. That's why when the Negro is in the Western Hemisphere, he or she acts a fool. But when you have a dictatorship, when you're telling the dumb Negro what to do, the Negro behaves because there is a threat of violence.
So, okay. To take your point, what you're saying is that black people, and let me just say this, black people would rather have the dictatorship of white people.
No, you're missing.
That's why they are more attracted to the Republican Party.
I literally said Idi Amin, who was a black man. What I'm saying is, and I also
in America,
said,
in America,
no, eBlack. Did you not hear me?
I heard Idi Amin, but I'm trying to translate that philosophy into American sociology. The only ruler that could hold on, Chef. The only ruler that could be in America is the white man. Thus, I'm equating what you're saying is that black people desire leadership.
I literally
Therefore, hold on. Therefore, any black person who wants to join the Republican Party yearns for the leadership of white people.
Sir, it's not. No, you're missing what I'm saying. I literally mentioned rulership. I mentioned Obama. I mentioned Idi Amin in Africa. I mentioned ancient pharaohs thousands of years ago. When it comes to black people, we are not a people that understand democracy. When we are in democratic societies based on the people, we don't understand that. Now, I do because I'm a unique Negro. But generally, blacks understand a dictator type figure. That's why Negroes loved Obama. That's why Negroes loved Jerry Rawlings in Ghana. That's why Negroes loved Idi Amin. You got to tell dumb Negroes what to do. That's it. That's what I'm saying.
You have to understand, though, Chaotic, not being unfair or anything. I'm just saying, the way you talk, it's like you've never come across black people that are doing well.
Simon,
let him finish. Eblackt, let him finish real quick.
Attack his points, please.
I am, because the way he's talking is like black people are this, but the fact of the matter is you are not going to become the next president, are you, Chaotic? As much as you'd like to. So at the end of the day, all you're doing is doing talking points. You're just going,
right,
okay.
I'm muting you. Chef, you got the last on this.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Anybody within earshot of my voice, if you believe that you have the way, you have the idea, you have the heart, you have the temperament, you have that French je ne sais quoi, that certain thing to lead your people, okay? Guess what? Every single one of you would want to be a dictator. You know why? Because you wouldn't have to sit and fight and go through the whole rounds of the congressional bullshit and filibustering and, stopping of the economy to get what you need to go. If you know that you have that right idea, you want nobody to fight you. You don't want to have to go through obstacles. So in terms of leadership, if I get a leader, I want a leader that doesn't have a 4-year plan with a possible 4. I want that person that literally will think to that 20 or 25. A freaking mortgage is 30 years. And they talking about stretching it, bro. A mortgage. But then we put somebody in office and then we make them move like a clerical assistant for 4 years. And they have to fight for another 4. And then for somebody else to come and undo what they do. At the end of the day, instead of the roller coaster, I prefer smooth movement. So I'm one of those guys that believe that if we do end up selecting a particular president, that it should be a little longer. Because at the end of the day, bro, if any of you within the earshot of my voice believe that you have what it is to make your people better, you don't need all of this political bullshit stopping you. You don't.
But
so it's not about a racial thing.
All right, let me get this conversation back on track. The problem is not necessarily dictatorships or the types of government. It's the fact that does it seem that the only way that we can get to conservatism is to attack black people?
Who's attacking?
Why is it that the black people who believe in fiscal conservative, who believe in centralized power, who believe everything that you guys talk about, have to make a grandstanding approach to black
Because
institutions, culture, and thought?
You really want to hear this?
Like
Black Wall Street.
I'm not. Can I ask this question? First of all,
You know,
Simon.
Black Wall Street was Republican, right?
First of all,
do we have? I don't want to get into the New Deal. I just don't want to get into that.
First of all, eBlack, to answer your question, as a actual American, Simon,
are you Republican?
Fuck you, nigga.
Simon.
eBlack, I mean not eBlack. I'm sorry, Simon.
Take a chill for a minute back there, man.
No, that's fine. The thing is that we have to realize this as a people. If it were not for, I'm sorry, eBlack. What was your question again? Simon,
why is it that to get to conservatism, we have to be a black conservative means to basically undress your culture, undress
your culture's
blackness, and then become an attacking power to black institutions.
The conservative wants to the conservative, whether he or she is black or white, sees a problem in America and wants to figure it out and wants to fix it.
Black people.
No, just any conservative. Okay. They want to fix the problem. Illegal immigration is a problem. We have a problem with education, sir. You have in China right now.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Go ahead. No, go ahead. You have a problem in China.
Okay. Forget China, right? Let's stick to America, right? I know I mentioned China. In this country right now, you have a very anti-American sentiment, anti-patriotism. Other groups of people, you would never in a million years see other groups of people come over to this country from other places and disrespect their own country. But in America, we have this sentiment of disrespecting America.
What does that have to do with black Republicans?
It has everything to do with black people, sir. Black people live in the lap of luxury here, and they're disrespecting this country. And every time they fail, which is due to their own problems, they blame white people. That's the problem, sir. Okay. Republicans or conservatives, they understand failure. Failure is really based on me. It's not based on anything systemically, because these problems don't exist here. You know where systemic racism exists? Check out the Uyghurs in China. That's where systemic racism exists. You know where systemic problems exist? Check out Uganda, where you can't be gay, right? There are the freedoms that we have here. You can't get them in other places on the planet, right? So what I'm saying is that this is the greatest country on the planet, and black Americans here and Americans generally are ungrateful. Go ahead, sir.
I would counter.
I got to take care of something real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. And just to his point, I would definitely counter with the fact that he mentioned other countries that have racism, but then all of a sudden racism doesn't exist in this magical fairyland called America. But what you got, Chef, on this? Salute to Mickey Red. How you doing? Well, Chef ended up leaving. But so while we're kind of going through this, let me play another video. We're going to play another video, and it goes back to my point. Now we kind of worked a little too much on this topic, but I wanted to set the scene so we understand the point. I want to keep it really centralized. Why is it that when black Republicans have to then disrespect everything about blackness? And then you'll also see why Indians, Asians, to get accepted into the ranks of Republicans, they also have to stand up and fight against black institutions, not woke institutions, not white institutions, black institutions. And we're going to show that now. I wanted to talk in regards to Officer Tatum. Now, he's a black Republican. Of course, he's a police officer, the general stereotype, right? I also want to show you a video in which proves to you that these black people will go out of their way to disrespect other black people and to prove how much they need to have white acceptance. Let's go.
Little Mermaid. Roll the clip.
Why can't we see your face?
They're about to show it. Keep watching.
Oh, she's black! Oh my god! Yes, 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 yes! Oh my god! Oh my god!
What'd you say?
She's black!
The little girl start crying. And for people who can't see the video, the girl is like looking back and forth, completely confused.
What, baby? Yeah, she's brown like you.
She's brown like me.
Yeah, she's brown like you.
What's she doing on the water? What's she doing on the water?
She's brown like me. What she's doing underwater. I can't believe these parents. I can't believe these parents would do their kids like this. Now I want you to listen. Listen for a minute. Listen for a minute. I think I said something that was real funny. She's brown like me. What she doing underwater? Like she talking about a turd or something. Anyway, Lord help me. Nick then ran out of the room. He can't stop laughing. So, but just imagine if these were white kids. Can we be honest? Y'all can't see the video, but you can listen to the audio. Imagine if white kids were looking at a black character that somehow they switched out for a white character, and they were like, "Wow, he's white like me." And they start crying because there's a white character. I mean, you know how crazy that sounds? You know how that be all over the news. White supremacists raising their children to hate black people. But black people can do it. It don't make no sense to me, man. We didn't grow up like this, y'all. Even though we grew up, and I feel like that we felt some type of way about white people, but we didn't grow up like this bad. Ain't no way in the world I'm looking at one of the cartoons and I'm like, oh, he's brown just like me. I ain't thought about that twice. When I was growing up, at least my mom and them didn't teach us that stuff. My mom and them taught us to be fair to everybody. Culture and peers created this idea that white people didn't like us. When we were really young, we had these friends named Dustin and Derek. And I wish that we can see them today and see what they up to. But Dustin and Derek were poor. We weren't poor. My mama used to give Dustin and Derek our hand-me-down clothes, and they were white.
Okay, Ark, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
So as you can see, this is the fake wokeness that I'm talking about, because you're starting to see a pattern in which black Republicans have to, one, denounce their blackness. They then have to establish or show how much they care for their white counterparts. It's a consistent pattern. It's a consistent pattern that African Americans who want the acceptance of the white political conservative system have to show that we're not like these Negroes. You even heard it here, where black children are talking about a cartoon series, a story, a fictional stuff. And he has to go out his way to make a joke. Oh, that black girl in the water, she looks like a turd. He has to then, like I said, attack black culture, black thought, and black institutions. Then he has to show how his allegiance to blackness, white supremacy ideology is. Go ahead.
Well, I didn't hear Officer Tatum mention that he was a Republican. I didn't
He's
hear
a Trump
him.
supporter.
So was Rakim. So was Nas. So was Jay-Z. So was Mike Tyson. So was millions of other black people in the 90s, sir, who were
You're
Trump
not getting
supporters.
around this point. You're not getting around this point.
Sir.
Why is
Sir.
it
Sir.
that they have to show
You gonna cut
in
me
their
off every
fake
time?
wokeness
You gonna cut
that
me off every
African
time?
American? I'm just
Are you
asking.
gonna cut me off every time? Or you gonna ask me a question?
No, I'm
when
just
when you
asking.
answer? Sir, you mentioned Trump. Donald Trump was loved in the black community for decades. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. He's in rap songs. Do you want me to name the rap songs, sir? Do you want me to name the music videos? That's Bobby
Go
Brown.
ahead with your point, man.
Do you want me to do that? Okay. I didn't think you want me to do that, sir. I'm the same age as you. I'm not a 24-year-old. I'm not a bullshitter. I'm not a kid. I grew up in the same time period you did. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend that Negroes didn't love Donald Trump.
My family did not like Trump.
Yes, they did, sir.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
We lived through the Central Park Five. They said that he was a rich, racist ass white man.
Sir.
I'm sorry.
Sir. This country.
Where did your parents live, Bliss?
Tennessee.
Because I was in New York.
Tennessee.
I know one of the members of the Central Park Five. Let me just say this to you. Trump was a different kind of character, bro.
Yeah.
The Trump that you know and that others know is not the same one that people in New York knew.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? And what was funny is we actually didn't call him a racist. We just, we figured he was doing the same old shit that all the other white people did. But it's a lot different now now we're in the information era and we see different things, we say different things, and we have a lot more context to flesh things out, right? But in terms of what he did, things that he did, things his family did within New York, it made sense. It made sense. He revitalized Atlantic City. People talk about how much money he went into debt and all of that. It was the thing. He was the maverick that was the one that ended up going out and taking the risks. He took a lot of risks.
Mm-hmm.
He lived opulently. He forced himself into and this is not that I'm a Trump supporter. That's the funniest thing. But in terms of when you talk about the history, I can see how he got elected. He was talking this shit in the 90s, bro. So we have to understand the way people perceive him, because guess what? It was the black vote that got him into the presidency.
Yeah.
It was not the black vote. It was the
Come
white
on, man.
vote.
Are you out of your mind?
What are you talking about?
So let's say no black people voted for him.
I didn't say no black people got him in there. It was the white vote that got him in there.
Okay,
like let's just stop making it seem as if all black people voted for Trump. Black men have not. Hold on. Time out. Since you want to make a statement, black people have not voted. Hold on. Time out. Black men have not voted over 10% since like freaking 70s.
Based on what facts?
Based on historical facts.
What's your data?
Okay, just look it
What's
up.
your data?
Just look up the percentage of black
I'll
men.
look it up right now.
Okay, you know what? And I'll give
right now.
At most 15%. At most 15%. I was just
now
using
15.
Now you sounding like Rico.
1 out of 8. 1 out of 8.
Which one
Okay,
is it, man?
1 out of 8. All I'm
eBlack.
saying is that this idea of the black
Which one is it, man?
renaissance towards Republicans is just an overstated thing. A very much overstated thing. Black men and black women have statistically been loyal to the Republican base since the New Deal.
Republican base, you said?
Democratic base.
You see, you don't even know.
I was about to say, nigga, like,
you
come
don't
on,
even know
bro.
what you're saying.
I'm
man.
sorry if I mix up my words. Yeah, I
Like,
got like two people interrupting me. I'm just saying.
eBlack, can I ask you a question real quick? What do you
Go
think about HR 734? I did a live stream on it a week ago.
HR 734. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. Do you believe
My name?
Okay, House Resolution 734. Do you believe? So first of all, it was passed in the House. Okay, the House is dominated by the Republicans. We know that. Basically, it says if you are born with a penis, you cannot play sports at the collegiate or high school level. It is a Title IX violation. Do you, eBlack, believe that this will go through the Senate? And do you also believe that this is right, what they're doing?
Okay, I know what you're saying. You left the point out. If you have a penis, you cannot play for a woman's team. You left the woman's team.
For a woman's team.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. I don't think that has really anything to do with this conversation, but
it does. Because
let them walk.
No.
Because you know why you know why it does, eBlack? Because Democrats,
y'all are wild.
eBlack,
okay, go ahead.
The Democrats in the House.
No, I don't think a man and a woman should be playing basketball against each other. No.
Okay, I'm trying to make sure, eBlack, if you are just a normal person, because I don't know whether you're being devil's advocate or not, but sir, there are things that you're saying that are just absolutely absurd. I believe that you are low-key a Republican, you are a conservative, and you're being a devil's advocate right now, right?
I have traditional values, but
And
I'm very progressive.
Let me say this: eBlack is always accused of being
okay. So if you're progressive,
always.
Okay, so you're.
I know you back in real life.
Okay, so you're progressive. Okay, eBlack, do you own a business right now?
Technically, yes.
Okay, hire a transvestite right now, this very moment. Are you?
I can't hire nobody right now.
Wait a minute. You own a business, right? Hire a tranny right now.
It wouldn't matter. I would if that person.
Well, that's being progressive.
Okay.
Hire one right now.
What is your point?
You just said out of your mouth that you're progressive. Hire a trans woman.
I would not. Okay. I would not. I would not hire a trainee based on their sexuality.
Well, that's being progressive, isn't it?
Okay. What I'm saying is that I would not have any issue hiring a transsexual based on their skills and based on the job that I would be
if theoretically offering. Dude that pretended to be a
what
woman.
Does that have? Okay, what is that? What does that have to do? See, y'all,
sir, I'm
hoop jargon. Hoop jargon, you next.
Sir, I'm going up with what you're talking about.
We're talking about trainees and blacks.
You just said that you're progressive. Did I not hear that? Did I not hear you just say that?
We are talking. We are talking about black Republicans.
Progressive.
We are talking about black Republicans. We're not talking about transsexuals. That has little to do with this subject.
What, sir? That has everything to do with. Sir, we are talking about transsexuals because you just said that you're progressive, right? So, in your business, hire a transsexual woman right now in front of everybody. Right now,
in front of everybody.
Call one. You're progressive, right?
Now.
Call one. You're progressive.
Hoop
Mike TV will tell you where to find them.
You know what?
What's up?
Hoop, what you got to say on this subject?
Well, I want to know what angle we at because I came in a little late, so I want to know what exactly are we angling towards.
I'm trying to get the conversation to the point to where why is it that black Republicans they have to disrespect black institutions, black culture, and black ideologies to get accepted into the white conservative area. You can be black conservative.
Can I ask this question real quick?
But it seems like everywhere we go, and I'm bringing up Officer Tatum in this situation to where he went out of his way to disrespect black people and then said, you know what? I took care of white people.
Can I answer this question real quick?
just to prove. No.
Chipino and who?
I just to prove his white allegiance, and I showed a video earlier from Get Off the Bus or Get on the Bus, where you see a stereotypical thing. They have to disrespect black people to get accepted.
You're talking about a movie.
It has nothing to do. I just showed you a video about real life.
Can I ask you a question real quick? LeBron James, right?
Oh my
God. No, seriously. He talks about the plight of the black man in the country. It's funny because how come he doesn't talk about the Uyghurs in China?
Because I'll answer it for you.
Go ahead.
Because LeBron James is bought and paid for by Nike. LeBron James has
the
Uyghurs
allegiance
to his thing, and LeBron James loves white women. Burn. I'm gonna tell you, I know this.
eBlack. Where'd you go, E? Why isn't LeBron?
Hey, boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
You talk about institutions, right? How come LeBron isn't talking against the Uyghurs and their treatment in China right now? The genocide going on right now. Go ahead.
He
sir.
bought and paid for it. So if you notice, man, LeBron James spoke about China like 4 years ago, and Daryl Morey checked him, who was formerly the GM of the Houston Rockets, checked him on that his China stance. And you know what LeBron James didn't do? He didn't retort.
No,
LeBron James, the same dude who, like, when that white politician, that lady, the conservative lady, got on his ass about his he said Donald Trump is a bum. He got on her, but when it comes to his foreign interests, LeBron James knows where his bread is buttered. So yeah, he knew when to step in and talk and when not. And I'll say this: me and LeBron James the same age. We both. Well, he's 39. He's 38. I'm 39.
Yep, I'm older.
Former basketball player. You know, we in a lower sense in the same circles. High key lower sense, but at the same time, LeBron James is a guy who is not very well versed in shit, but he knows where his lines he can cross. Because if you look at and listen to the audience, look at this. If you go and put LeBron James reading a book, he's on page 1 on every book. This dude don't know shit. He don't know shit. So, but I mean, his team, you know, he's a billionaire. I mean, salute to him, man. Like, I'm not going to sit here and disparage him in that capacity, but as far as what you know about how the social climate is of things and things of that nature, it's the same dude who, when in 2020, when like social activism was at its highest, he wanted to still play basketball. He had no message on back his jersey, back when everybody had a message on back their jersey with like that's going to change something, which in my opinion, is a fruitless endeavor. But this dude want to still play basketball when everybody was like, man, you know, when Fernando Castillo got killed and all that, you know, the Milwaukee Bucks wanted to not play basketball no more because they happened in Milwaukee. And LeBron was like, no, let's keep playing. Because he is a number one about himself and his own interests. So it's just I find him to be a funny guy to reference if we're talking about some real reform or some real change, as it were.
So do you think that LeBron will ever come out against black institutions, or is he playing the middle of the line?
No, he'll always be a fence rider because that's what he is.
Okay,
absolutely.
He is a black institution at this point.
He is absolutely, but he's a fence rider though. With foreign
he is a black institution. You know, you think about his charity, you think about the scholarship, think about everything he's doing. He's solidifying himself. Now, whether this black institution does anything for the black community outside of, you know, where he's from, that's a different thing.
Are you talking about school?
Yeah, I'm talking about the school.
You know, his school is a publicly funded entity, bro. He put $1 million on
nothing to do with that school in Akron.
Exactly what it is. He put here's what it was. What it was that he put up the seed and he ended up getting matched. It was matched, but it was a multiplier in terms of the match of what he put up in order for them to make it happen, right? Okay. But in terms of everything else that he's doing, production company, this, that, and the other, it's an institution. But it's an institution that benefits us. Pardon?
A match of what?
In terms of the funding, because he had put up
funding. I'm gonna ping it down to $1 amount.
Bring it.
Yeah,
Because remember, he put up
match?
a little over $1 million and change, right?
Yes, from his foundation, which is from a pooled fund of shit. So who really paid for the I Promise school? The citizens of Akron, Ohio, pay for that school, brother.
Talk to it. I want to.
No,
you know,
I'm telling you, it's a public school.
I'm not arguing. I want to hear that. I
It's
want
not
to
a
hear some
private
good
school.
shit. Talk to me.
It's a public entity, bro. So the citizens of Akron, Ohio, pay for that entity, bro. That's what I'm saying. So it's like it's almost in face only entity. And anybody can fact check that in the chat, in the listening audience, bro. So it's like, what are you really doing? Now, I'm not gonna say like, you're not putting $1 million of your own pooled money. It's not nothing. I'm not saying that. You're using your influence. I got you. But when people try to placate it, like, oh yeah, this dude is just putting his own money up and he building this stuff for the black entity. No, it's not. It's not a black entity. It's just you use your pooled money from a black person to a public institution. It's not black owned, bro.
Right. So for the record, because I don't want to get too far out on the tangent. I'm not talking to positive or negative. I'm just speaking as though he is a black institution at this point. Even if the school never existed, he has a production company. He employs people. He has the sporting agency and all of that. And the point I was making was that even though it's a black institution, does it actually benefit black people as a whole? And that's the whole key to it. Because in the end, I believe when I look at him, I recognize his skill. I recognize what he's done, what he's overcome, and all of that stuff. And I'm going to give him his props. I have zero issues with him, right? But I don't pedestalize LeBron James like some people would. Because at the end of the day, he's somebody that's going to take a check. Remember that whole Ma'Khia Bryant thing when they talked about China? They talked about, you can't say anything when you getting checks from China. And you
real,
Nike. That's why you see Michael Jordan does not do any political talk.
Ever.
He hasn't done it for a long time.
Ever.
And they got on him when he said, yeah, because Republicans buy sneakers too. Right?
Yeah.
Chef,
Go ahead, my bad. Do your thing.
Jordan doesn't say shit about China because he knows that the Uyghurs are making his motherfucking shoes and these motherfucking iPhones, but nobody says anything about them. Conveniently, right? eBlack, keep it real. eBlack, keep it real. You got real people on this planet getting subjugated, enslaved, working at damn near nothing. And you over here talking about, whoa, black people in institutions and stop. What about that, eBlack? What about the Uyghurs in China?
You guys are wild.
Do that again.
You guys are wild. To get to my you know what? I get it. You guys are getting stuck on the black thing.
You talking about a movie?
You guys are getting stuck on the black thing.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna bring up another person. You said it correctly. What's his name? Chaotic.
Cool.
The Vicenci Vic.
Huh?
The guy that's the Indian guy that's running for
Vivek.
Vivek.
Vivek. Yeah, Vivek. So that's I want you guys to listen. Because I want you guys to really listen and understand the underlying dog whistle.
Here we go.
Part of our country. It's not about, it's a cultural one. And given the reality of the world that we live in, I wasn't really free to speak about it as the CEO of a high-profile company. So I had to step down so that I could talk about it not as a CEO, but as a citizen. That new disease, that new infection is spreading across our country like wildfire. It is one that even the best of science is not going to cure. And that new disease is called woke culture. It's the new secular religion in America. And its belief system centers on the idea that your identity is based on your race, your gender, and your sexual orientation, full stop. It posits that America is a systemically racist country, and that if you're black, you're inherently disadvantaged, and that if you're white, you're inherently privileged, no matter how much money you have, no matter what your upbringing was. Your race and gender govern who you are and what thoughts you're allowed to have. That's it. Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley summed it up pretty neatly last year, actually, when she unapologetically declared, "We don't need any more black faces that don't want to be a black voice. We don't need any more brown faces that don't want to be a brown voice," end quote. I'm going to guess that I don't fit her description of what counts as a brown voice. Here's the clever part about how this particular virus spreads. If you disagree with any of those claims, then that actually means you're just racist and you don't know it.
Okay, hello. So,
You
did
really-
anybody hear the dog whistle on this?
In what capacity?
I just want to know, did anybody hear the dog whistle? Did anybody hear the dog whistle? Okay. Once again, you have an Indian guy saying that the problems with this country, the disease of this country is black people saying that this is an issue and we're divided by white people. Once again, for even an Indian guy, he has to attack black institutions, black ideology, black thought, and black culture to get accepted through the GOP. He didn't say the worst thing in this country is the inflation. He didn't say the disease of this country is missiles coming from China and North Korea. He didn't say the most important issue. No, the most important issue is to ensure that he separates himself as a black, brown person from and to aggrandize himself to the white population.
Let me
Once
get in
again,
there.
it's fake woke. I want you to understand. This is fake woke.
No.
I want
Chef, you go first, and I'll go after you.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
gonna go third, man.
I'm gonna let you. I'll let you do the mic drop, right?
Because I rock
First
with
off,
Vivek. Go
Blizzy,
ahead, Chef.
Blizzy, check this out, man. Listen what you just said. You stated that you almost stated as though he was making a divisive statement, and that's really interesting. You spoke as though he was making a divisive statement. But you know that's categorically incorrect. If he was making a divisive statement, what he would have done was push the groups further.
I understand
Hold on. Would
I
have been
understand
pushed.
what speeches is. Don't sit here and pin me on divisiveness. I
No,
understand what
I
dog
didn't
whistle
say
is.
that. You're not listening. What
You
I'm
did
stating
say
is this.
divisiveness.
I didn't. Okay, you know what? Because you said speaking, and you literally stated an Indian man. So you spoke to his nationality, right? His nationality.
His race. Because he's nationalized as American.
So no. Let me help you out. Indian is a nationality because it's based on the nation of India. His ethnicity would be something else. It would be
Like
Asian
Asian.
or East Asian. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's different. What I'm stating to you is he's speaking. It's, you know what's so funny? It's the identical conversation when we have brothers that's in these spaces talking about, you know what? Forget all of this FBA ADOS and non-FBA, non-ADOS thing. We all black people, right? He's actually making it bigger. He's calling it people of color. So he's speaking to connecting.
He said black and white.
Wait. Let me land the plane.
I'm sorry.
Right? I just found the airfield, right? So watch this. What he's actually doing is he's attempting to adjoin or conjoin the different folks of color because he is a person of color. So he's not actually working in a negative fashion. What he's actually doing is utilizing unity of all POC, people of color, to get together to move behind him. He's speaking to the issue that he has because he wants the black vote. He wants it, bro. He wants it. He needs it. Do your thing, CT.
So I rock with Vivek. Now, do I believe that he would legitimately have a Chinaman's chance of becoming president? Of course not. He's 37 years old.
Never been in public office at all.
Yeah, of course not. Now, what I will say is this: is he highly intelligent? Of course he is. He's Harvard educated. The man is insanely rich. He's charismatic. But what I can say about this young man is this: hear me out. Just like
That's
most
it.
people,
That's it. I'm
I
sorry.
wasn't done.
I'm sorry.
But I wasn't done.
I'm sorry. I'm on mute.
I wasn't done. If people really followed Vivek, he wants to become economically independent from China. He wants to end affirmative action. He wants to eliminate the U.S. Department of Education. What is so wrong with his talking points and what he wants to do? I understand that, listen, China is a major global problem.
No, black
Okay?
people talking about separating black and white is a major problem.
Sir, if the man has opinions about what do they call it? With the whole thing with schools,
Dude, what did he say?
yeah. What do they call it again? Blacks. I mean, eBlack. What is it called?
I don't know what you're trying to say. I can't make up your point for you.
What is it called?
What is
Segregation?
No, not segregation.
Racial issues?
Because it's so stupid. The whole thing with the whole racial education that he wants to disband or
Critical
eliminate.
race theory.
Oh, critical race theory?
Critical race theory, CRT, yeah.
Okay.
He spoke out against CRT.
Of course.
I agree with him. Why are black children being taught that they are less than white kids? Why are they being taught that all white people are bad? Why are they being taught that? Okay, go ahead, eBlack. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
And this is one of those things. Of course, he's gonna speak out against that because, like I said, to be a part of the Republican Party, you have to disrespect and downgrade black institutions, black culture, and black thought. So, of course, he's against CRT. Of course, he's against all things black. And of
Black
course, he
Wall
thinks
Street
one of
was
the most, and of course,
Republican.
hold on, and of course, one of the greatest diseases in America is black versus white issues.
Just a question,
Man,
eBlack.
I want to go after Kayak, man.
No. Let who go?
So you say Vivek is disrespecting black?
I think he's doing dog whistle, typical dog whistle stuff.
Okay.
Just like I show Officer.
Can I ask you a question?
It's
real
fake
quick?
woke.
Can I ask you a question?
This
real
is
quick?
fake woke.
This is
Okay. This is fake woke.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this.
Okay. Give me a second, real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let's assume you're right. Vivek is disrespecting black institutions. What about the rappers who disrespect the nuclear family? What about the drug dealers who disrespect black institutions and the black family by disrupting the black family, by poisoning the black family? The rappers who talk about
the same way I feel about Elvis saying I ain't nothing but a hound
I have
dog.
no idea about Elvis. I don't know what the fuck you talking
Okay,
about.
I'm just saying if you're gonna talk about
What is that?
if you're gonna talk about sexual promiscuity and music as your forefront of your argument, I can't argue with you, man.
I'm talking about people for 40 years, rappers, who've been talking
Oh
about
my
this.
God. This can't be your point.
Am I speaking Chinese?
No.
I'm talking about for 40 years, the black man who has been talking about drugs and alcohol, sir, Does that not destroy the black institution, sir? The black family unit, sir? Am I?
Yes, I do think that sexual promiscuity in music
No,
and in
sir.
culture.
No, sir. No. Weed smoking, drug usage, and alcohol. I'm not talking about sex. Does not.
Hold on. Mute. I'm muting you. Hoop. Go ahead, man.
Okay. Now, eBlack, listen, man. You know I love you like cook food. I'm always,
Yes.
you know, from the
I'm
ends of
here.
earth, I'm
Look,
gonna
I am a
defend you.
free, open panel. I don't care if you disagree. I just rather have the conversation.
Yeah, man. So I'm going in most cases because I've met you twice. I understand you at a decent level, so I'm not here to disparage you. But what I'm saying is, man, if we're talking about like the upbringing of these kids, bro, I taught for 4 years. I was a teacher in Houston. We talking about, you know, Title I kids who are like quote unquote at risk, disadvantaged kids. Listen, man, if we gonna fix this shit, it gotta come from internally at home. Yes. And I say that because it is such bullshit rhetoric that drives these kids who are now. So I last taught in 2014. My last batch of kids about 23, 24 years old now. And I watch, you know, because, you know, my hoop jargon entity, they follow my social media page and I follow them back. And I watch these motherfuckers. Sorry if you don't cuss over here.
We've been past that point.
Cool. All right, bet. I watched life results past this point. And I gotta say, man, the kids who had the proper training, the proper parent support, they have exponentially different results from the people who I saw in 2014, single parent households and just whatever going on. Bro, it's it's discernible to see between the results from in and in, right? So ultimately what I'm saying is we're being disingenuous, man, when we say, oh, well, all these things don't matter and blah, 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 blah. No, they do matter. So when guys like this you know, Indian guy steps up and he says the things he says, and like, you know, again, being more of a conservative guy, I have to say, a guy who did not grow up in nothing conservative based in my household, when I watch that juxtapose of how what was laced upon me, it's better to have some goddamn strict guidelines, because when it's a free for all, it's a goddamn free for all. One of my kids, man, Kyron, man, he wasn't even a bad kid like that. Got killed, trying to rob somebody, and he was not a kid like that, but he had zero structure. He was the kid that basically, when the game was over, one of my better athletes, his parents didn't show up. I had to take that nigga home. And I told him, I'm like, Kyron, listen, most coaches will not take you home at 8 o'clock in the evening because I got stuff to do, but I'm going to take you home. But just listen, man. Just know I'm taking you home because I care about you, bro. And, you know, 4 years later, he dead, right? So ultimately what I'm saying is like, it's so much shit that we need to clean up on that level of just, you know, I'm not going to say anarchy, but just, you know, quasi-chaotic shit that nobody wants to touch. And this is the black community, and that is normal for shit for what you call Title I schooling kids who have from lower social economic, you know, backgrounds. It's just like, dude, that is where the ilk of our kids who gonna go further are from. And you can lie to yourself all day, but that's where they're from, and they're producing horrible, you know what I'm saying, progeny going forward. So that's kind of why I want to interject as we go forward.
I understand what you're saying. Look, I get what you're saying. Loathing, self-loathing, and low self-esteem in regards to yourself does not help anybody. But you cannot ignore the fact that black people have been treated at a disadvantage in this country.
Yes.
Is that not true?
I agree with that. Yes. So okay.
Okay. So once again, this statement. Stop.
When?
I'm having a conversation with who?
eBlack, when?
These
No, I
Ever
got
been
you.
treated bad?
no, stop.
When? When have you been treated bad, eBlack?
Go,
You're over there.
man.
The
Hold
nerve
on,
of you,
bro.
the
Go.
nerve of you, sir, over there
Go, eBlack.
sitting in your 6-bedroom house. You got your Mercedes outside. You seeing your.
So, I used the mute button over here. Sorry, y'all. But once again, we understand that the current state, and we can all agree that African Americans are at a disadvantage. But once again, for the guy who's running for president of the United States, he's 37. Here, for one of his statements to be, and I quote, it positions that America is systematically a racist country, and that if you're black, you're inherently disadvantaged, and that if you're white, you're inherently privileged. No matter how much money you have, no matter what your upbringing was, your race and gender govern who you are and what thoughts you're allowed to have. That's it. Congresswoman Ayanna Presley summed it up pretty neatly last year, actually, when she unapologetically. But basically, what he's
okay. And your current president said that if you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's some horse shit.
Come on,
that's
man.
Horse shit. That's horse shit.
I just want you to
Take
understand.
3 breaths. Go ahead.
I just want you to understand that you have I want to be clear, a first generation person coming here talking about black and white issues and then thinking that, what is up with you guys in this black and white stuff? Shoot, I don't know what's wrong. My mama was an engineer. My mama was wait, time out. My mama was a doctor. My daddy was an engineer. Why can't you lazy Negroes get it together? It's not about race. And here we go with this. And like I said, the whole stream is about why. To be a conservative, must we endure the disrespect from people that look like us and on our institutions and our culture? It is fake woke. It has nothing to do. Why can't you just prove why your policies work? Why can't you prove that we need more factories? No, the first thing in this speech, this is less than 3 minutes into it. The first thing he does is he says, man, that black and white shit ain't nothing. This is the dog whistle. And this is why it's fake woke. And this is why I, as an educated voter, understand what
that's disingenuous what you're doing, because that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is, at this point in time, he's minimizing the divide and trying to bring us together. But what you're doing is you are the person who's so butthurt, right? You need rash cream and shit, because what it is, at some point, all you hear now, all you got is stimulus. You got a bunch of open wounds, and I understand. But what you're doing is, at this point, you can say, because maybe it's because in college I was a pre-law major, marketing minor, right? So let's say the optics didn't work for you, but let's say the optics didn't work for you, bro. Let's just say that the optics didn't work.
I know a dog whistle when I hear one, man.
But no, because you're listening for it. Guess
3
what?
minutes into
dog
the
whistles are heard by a tiny percentage of mammals or animals or creatures on this planet.
That's true.
You hear it. Everybody else doesn't, but you hear it. So is that your gift?
No, to one specific breed it's heard. Dogs.
Come on, man.
Like this is my point. Y'all make these grandiose
the other
statements,
shit, not just the tiny little dog whistle that only you hear inside your sensitive soul. Let's talk about the totality of what he's saying. Can you even construct what he was saying? Because I got it.
I understand. It's a great point. I'm a brown guy, and I'm rejected by the brown and black institutions. So hey, I'm with you guys. So I think everything else is fake woke because they don't accept the way I think. Because it's like, come on now, like I'm not. That's not play the game. We are not stupid. I am not stupid. I know what I'm hearing. It's just like with the other
Right, I know what
situation.
you're saying.
We know
eBlack
what's
wants
going
us to
on.
vote for Biden for another 4 years, y'all.
Man.
I want to know. I want to do a congressional hearing and see how much money they sending you money.
Can I say something real quick to eBlack?
Sure, go ahead.
eBlack, you honestly disgust me, sir.
Oh, shit.
And I'm gonna tell you why. And this is this is with the utmost respect. Here you go. You're in the lap of luxury in America, the best country on the planet. You probably got a Maserati, a Mercedes outside.
No, I don't.
Your daughter goes to private school respectfully.
No, she don't.
You probably live in a 5-bedroom home in a
No, I
cul-de-sac.
don't.
And you're pretending that you're oppressed. You're upset that Vivek is succeeding. Maybe it's because he worked hard, and he did. Maybe, sir, there is no racism, and you're trying to create a race narrative. You're wealthy, sir. eBlack, compared to most blacks on the planet. You're more wealthier than Liberians.
I've stayed at his home. He is a wealthy man.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Wait. You see me in the club, right? I'm a wealthy guy too.
eBlack, listen, eBlack. I've heard many of interviews with Vivek, and he's speaking the real. Black Americans like yourself, sir, you're trying to be a victim, and you're not, sir. You're not. You are wealthy compared to most people on the, not even just black people, but most people on the planet, my good sir. You're pretending. And I'm the Negro Whisperer. You're sitting over there. You got that expensive ass microphone, sir, that costs $400, $500. Sure, I know what it is. You're not. I mean, sir, everybody has the same starting point as you.
He got a piano, yo. He got a piano.
It's a choice. It's a choice to be poor, eBlack, in this country. Black, white, whatever. It's a choice to be a loser. eBlack, I get it, sir. You're fighting a good fight, but it's not gonna work anymore, sir. I've seen you. You have straight teeth. Yeah, sir. You have straight teeth.
This is the last fake woke that's pre-recorded.
You have, sir. You have straight white teeth. You got a $50 pro model on. That's what we call hats. You're not fooling me. You may be fooling people who watch you. You ain't fooling me, Negro. You're wealthy. Stop with this bullshit that you're oppressed. Stop. Vivek is right. He's right about Black Americans. They're lazy, a lot of them. It's a choice to be a loser. What are you talking about?
Hey, Chaotic.
Go ahead.
I met eBlack at the Black Manosphere meetup in 2011. eBlack flew out to Atlanta from Beaumont, Texas, where he's from. And I met, you know what I'm saying, eBlack, another time. Outside of that, I know eBlack does well for himself. So to your point, okay. But I want to say this too. I'm going to give you a little pushback. Racism does exist, homie. People are race loyal.
You're doing cities. You doxing right now.
Am I?
I'm joking.
eBlack right behind you. That Malcolm X painting, I bet you he can sell it for $1,000 right now.
All right, that's cap, but I mean, you know,
he probably could. I'm telling you. No, he probably could. No, sir, I'm telling you. I can look at the texture. This nigga eBlack is capping, man. Like, this dude is a major capper. I rock with E, but he's capping. The nigga ain't oppressed, man.
No, okay, let me say this though. So again, man, what you saying overall is not wrong. I've met eBlack twice in my life, man. You know, me and eBlack rock, bro. He not no dude struggling out here. You know, just oppression just on my back. It's not happening. So, but ultimately, racism does exist, though, bro. So I know.
In what country? What country? This racism.
This one right here, homie. Because
how? Where?
I'll tell you why.
Where?
I'll tell you why.
Give me. Hold on a second. Give me a branch of government, military. Give me an institution that says no, niggers, you can't do this.
I got you, because I see how you trying to frame it, and that don't work on me. So basically, people think associatively, meaning if you go into a hood, you know, saying a blood neighborhood with a blue shirt on, you will be dealt with accordingly, right? So in the corporate world, if you are not of the majority, you can be marginalized just easily. So it's almost like you can't prove it, but it's something that is existence. But listen, I'm not that guy. Hear me out. I'm not that guy who sit here and harps on that shit because I don't care. I accept reality where reality exists, because in that existence where it is what it is. I cannot control that. But what I can do, I understand that from legally, what you're saying that if hold on, listen, brother. So legally, I know that I can go and get to where I want to go if I have the credentials and what have you. I push hard enough. I know I can get there. So listen, I'm more of a conservative minded guy, bro. So you're not preaching to nobody who need preaching, bro. Trust me.
My fraternity.
I'm in the black frat too, bro. Alpha 5. I saw you throw the hooks up. I know you're Omega.
My
I saw you already.
fraternity was started at an Ivy League university,
Cornell
University, in 1906.
Oh, so me and
Black
you frat
people
then.
aren't struggling. Black
Alpha
people
Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I'm in the same frat, homie.
Okay,
Pistol
sir.
grip pump in my lap at all times. I got you.
Okay,
you preaching to the choir,
Our
my friend.
founders, what university? Okay, our founders. 1906, December 4th.
Cornell University.
Cornell's an Ivy League school.
I
sir.
got you,
sir. What are we talking about here?
Well, no, I got you, bro. Listen, with my frat brothers, if you will walk with me for a second, they still walk that same struggle thing. I fell out with so many of my frat brothers, bro, over the same premise that you're talking about. They think that they in this. I'm with you fundamentally. They think that they in this destitute situation, in this messed up situation, and the white man got this boot on your neck. I get you, but Tandy, and all the rest, they came through there and they did their thing at Cornell. IEBA. Okay, so with that being said, I got you on that premise, but we're talking about how this applies now 16 years later. It's a different dynamic. Go ahead.
What are you talking about, brother? Our fraternity brother, Robert F. Smith, who owns an equity firm, he's worth $50 billion. I mean, dude, listen, there is no racism in this country that's keeping people back. It's just laziness.
It doesn't disprove racism, bro. It means you can navigate in racism, bro.
No, you
in Brazil,
there is no.
I lived everywhere in the world. Not everywhere. That's cap. I've lived in multiple places in this world, bro. Racism exists everywhere, but I'm not saying that you can't navigate in it.
Sir, whether there's racism or not, where does racism exist?
That's much better. That's much better.
Y'all fraternity cats remind me of this. Just shimmy it, man.
Yeah, that's how I go though.
Come out the way,
Y'all get on my nerves, man.
You moving them out.
Well,
sorry, I just wanted to point that out.
eBlack, I'm gonna be honest, man. I argue with so many D9, what's called Divine 9, brothers and sisters, that how goofy the system is, because the system is goofy, because it's almost like you can't really say certain things because and this kind of goes to, I'm put the tennis ball back in your court. It's like Democratic viewpoint or nothing, and I'm like not that at all. So I fell out with a lot of people in the D9, little circles I've run in, for many, of years, because I don't accept that bullshit. So to Chaotic's point, I understand where he's going, but I'm not gonna meet him at the end of the road. Shout out to Boys to Men. it's somewhere in the middle. It's like, yeah, racism does exist, but I'm not going to be the guy who accepts a racism as this dominion of my life where I cannot navigate and succeed and thrive. I don't buy that at all, bro.
Well, but do you understand the premise of the argument that I'm trying to make is that once you decide, okay, well, I'm not going to go with the supposed victim Olympic side of the Democratic Party, I'm going to then deal with Republicans. Well, me as a Republican, I have to then start saying that these niggas is lazy, that y'all niggas want handouts. Do you understand? Instead of just relying on basically saying that, you know what, I'm a fiscal conservative. I uphold religious values. You notice that every single time that when they put a black or brown face in front of a camera in regards to conservatism, it's the same thing.
I'd argue most niggas are lazy though, bro.
Yes, to undo the misinformation.
Hey,
They
Black,
want brown
chaotic,
people
man.
to understand that they
Hold
want
on.
brown people to understand that
You see my sheet right
you
there?
were not always a Democrat. They want brown people to understand that they have an opportunity.
You see that chaotic again? So,
Yeah.
hey, you see,
It
I'm
doesn't
official over
necessarily
here.
mean the
thanks,
other
bro.
side.
Yeah. You see, I'm official over here, so I don't want to point that
Oh
out.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I see. You know, eBlack, I rock with you, man. I think you're a great dude. You should be ashamed of yourself, though.
Yeah.
You're a wealthy American claiming to be oppressed. Your daughter goes to private schools. You're up there in your man cave. You know, sir, let me ask you a question, sir. Do you think
Crying over his lobster tails?
Sir, do you think people in Sudan have a man cave? Absolutely not.
They got house cave.
It is absolutely shameful, sir. You're over there, you get a $100 hat on with your earbuds, your $200 damn hoodie on, and your $300 damn recliner. You got $1,000, $2,000 worth of paintings, sir. And you over here talking about oppression? That is shameful. You should be ashamed of yourself. How much do you pay for your haircuts? How much do you pay for your haircuts? Keep it real. When you get your haircut. No,
25.
You a goddamn lie.
I pay. I'm too cheap.
That's still a lot of money, homie.
25. I'll give them a $3 tip, so it might be 28. But
wealthy eBlack.
eBlack. Stop. I get you. I get it. You're fighting a good fight. I get it.
Funny.
But sir, you ain't struggling. You ain't went through no racism. Stop, E. Stop.
Y'all not turning me Republican like y'all coon ass niggas. I'm sorry. I cannot.
I'm not Republican, bro.
Sir, I'm not Republican either. Listen, if Michelle Obama ran for president, I would vote for her.
I would not at all.
Okay, that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is that America is not that bad, E. Why are you over here capping, man? Go ahead, sir.
Here's my question. Who would dare single out Jewish people in the same way? They are rich. When they claim anti-Semitism, people get canceled. Everyone whispers the J word
Can I answer that
across
real quick?
political lines.
Can I answer that real quick?
Yeah, because you didn't realize he didn't say in his first statement, the problem in Israel and the Palestine is the issue with America. You notice.
Can
I answer that real quick?
I do got to roll out real quick.
Yeah, I'm about to end this stream, man.
Yeah. Real quick, Chef Shapino, thank you so much, bro, for constantly supporting eBlack. Thank you for supporting me too. 06H.
Yes, sir.
I do gotta say, I do have to say this before I leave. eBlack, I get it. You're a troll. You're wealthy. You're wealthy. You got about 6 bedrooms. Let's be honest, sir. You got three bathrooms. You're wealthy. You ain't struggling, sir. You're not. Quit trying to cosplay and pretend that you're Harriet Tubman, that you're Medgar Evers. You're not.
He's the great Blacksby.
You ain't Frederick Douglass. Stop. I get it, man. I get it, man. You're not Frederick Douglass. You're not Nat Turner. Stop. You're a wealthy American, and you're living better than 90% of the people on the planet. And I'm always going to be the Negro whisperer to challenge you, sir. I can look at you and everything in that little vicinity right now and tell that you're a wealthy American. Stop it. You're making a fool of yourself. And you're on YouTube. Who's paying for your Wi-Fi? You think they got Wi-Fi in Yemen? Stop. You think they got Wi-Fi in Niger? Stop. You think they got Wi-Fi in Monrovia, Liberia? Stop it. They probably do in Monrovia. You're wealthy, sir. Just bask in the glory of America. But salute to you, Chef Shapino. Hoop 06.
Yes, sir.
Like this has been a great live stream.
Yeah.
I've drank a couple of beers, but this has been great. Thank you guys so much, man. Go ahead, guys.
Hold it down. And eBlack owns slaves, by the way.
What?
eBlack would have beat the shit out of some slaves back in the day. Yeah.
And he's invested in like 14 cobalt mines. And well, don't worry, when Chef does it, I'm gonna do a 14 for 14. You know, another 30 for 30. I'm doing 14 for 14.
All right. Let's wrap this up. All right. Hold on. Let me wrap this up. All right, guys. Well, once again, the idea was this. I noticed the consistent theme of Black conservatives, or AKA Black Republicans, and then I'm noticing also with the guy Vivek that even other people of color are now starting to attack Black issues or Black institutions or Black culture. And I really do think that this is fake wokeness. This has really nothing to do with it. A lot of the issues. And I believe that it's all fake woke. And you can be fiscally a conservative. You can have a lot of different things in terms of your ideology. But the one thing I don't believe is that you should be able to attack Black people to get or to aggrandize yourself within white institutions like the GOP. And that's fake woke. And I've seen it on multiple occasions. So anyway, salute to everybody who showed up. Also, I did drop the link. I did drop a link in my I'm dropping a link in my comments. I want everybody to understand that when I have topics, I really do want to reach out to people. This link right here, if you fill it out, you can submit your email and I will distribute topics that you may want to be a part of or just to be able to connect. So if you fill out this form, I do not sell the emails. I essentially just basically will start to say, hey, I'm having a panel. Please, I will send you a link. And sometimes in the future, because I do have some other stuff in the workings that, I will start having closed panels. And I really want people to be a part of the conversation. So if you want to be more part of these conversations, please fill out this distribution list. All I'm doing is essentially saying, hey, I'm having a panel. If you want to join, here's the link. And it will be the link. But I'm trying to cut down on the fact that I'm dropping the link in the middle of a public forum because I'm trying to cut down on people who are not really trying to add nothing to the conversation. So please try this out and work on that. So anyway, I salute everybody that showed up. I salute Chef Shapino for showing up. Chaotic once again, you make things entertaining all the time, and we're gonna get out of here on that note. Chef, you got anything to say? Huh? Never mind. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here on that note.
Thank you so much, E.
I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Chef Shapino, salute to you, bro.
Peace. Salute. Damn, I thought this camera was on. But yeah, man. Peace to everybody in the spot. Holla at me, Chef Shapino. Same way you see it on the screen. We got a lot more stuff coming for you.
Chef,
Great topic, Lizzie.
Chef, real quick before you leave, how did you get your bokeh like that?
Say it again.
Your bokeh effect.
Actually, this is the one from StreamYard because I don't have my Canon hooked up right now, so I'm using a laptop. In StreamYard, if you click settings, and then you go to background, virtual background.
Don't do that. Chaotic. Don't do that. That's no. That's
I got you. Okay.
He got a thousand. No, Chef really got a $1,000 camera set up. Oh, back there. He being real lazy right
okay.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Salute to you guys, man. Thank you guys so much. Hey, it was great being over here. Thanks, man.